The ship USV Retribution broke through the upper atmosphere of a dead world. Commander James Reeves stood at the observation deck, his jaw tight, his gray eyes fixed on the cracked brown surface below. Oceans that once shimmered blue were gone. Continents that once bloomed green were now nothing but scorched rock and ash fields stretching endlessly in every direction. Cities that had housed billions, New York, London, Chicago, Los Angeles, were buried under 3,000 years of silence. "Sir," Lieutenant Marcus Webb said quietly from behind him. "We have confirmed coordinates. This is Earth." Reeves didn't respond for a long moment. He pressed his palm flat against the cold glass. Somewhere beneath all that ash, his ancestors had screamed into an uncaring sky while the Vreth Armada burned everything they had ever built. "I know," he finally said. "I can feel it." The history was simple. Brutal. Efficient. 3,000 years ago, the Vreth, a reptilian empire spanning 40 star systems, had detected humanity's early faster-than-light signals. They hadn't come to negotiate. They hadn't come to observe. They had classified humans the same way humans once classified weeds in a garden. Something to be removed before it spread. The assault lasted 11 days. 11 days to end a civilization that had survived ice ages, plagues, and world wars. 11 days to silence every radio tower, every hospital, every laughing child. But they had made one mistake. 47 colony ships had already departed Earth before the Vreth arrived. Scattered across the outer edge of the galaxy, too far and too quiet to detect, those ships carried 200,000 survivors, farmers, soldiers, engineers, teachers, and stubborn, furious human beings who refused to simply disappear. 3,000 years. 40 generations. 200,000 became 12 billion. And they remembered everything. Admiral Dorothy Hayes stood on the bridge of the flagship USHS Ember, United Human Ship Ember, and watched 3,000 warships arrange themselves into formation across the star map. She was 62 years old. Silver-haired. Small in frame but built from something iron. Her grandfather's grandfather had carved the words "We return" into the hull of the first warship humanity constructed after achieving interstellar capability. Those words were now engraved on every ship in the fleet. Admiral, her weapons officer, Captain Ryan Cole, reported, "All batteries charged. Quantum drives hot. Fleet is ready on your order." Dorothy didn't rush. She reached into her uniform pocket and removed a small photograph, a printed reproduction, ancient technology, of a woman standing in front of what historians believed was a park in Denver, Colorado. A woman laughing. Unaware that in 3 weeks, her world would be ash. Dorothy placed the photo back. "Set course for Vreth Prime," she said. "Maximum speed." The Vreth had not thought about Earth in 800 years. The humans had been a footnote. A minor species erased during routine expansion. The Vreth Empire had consumed 60 civilizations since then and built their throne world into a fortress planet orbited by defense platforms and shielded by gravitational weapons that could collapse small moons. They believed themselves untouchable. The first indication that something was wrong came when their deep-range sensors picked up an approaching mass. The Vreth battle coordinator, High Commander Zethrak, leaned forward in his throne and studied the readout with reptilian calm. "What species?" he asked. His sensor officer's scales went pale. "The designation in our archives." The officer hesitated. "It reads, human." Silence fell across the command chamber. Then Zethrak laughed. A slow, dismissive rumble. "The Ashworlders?" "Impossible." He stopped laughing when 3,000 human warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel directly inside Vreth Prime's defense perimeter. Humanity hadn't come through the front door. They had spent 2 centuries studying Vreth gravitational technology specifically to walk through the walls. Admiral Hayes' voice came across every open Vreth frequency, calm and clear. "My name is Dorothy Hayes. I am the Admiral of the Human Restoration Fleet. 3,000 years ago, you came to our home and burned it while our people begged for their lives. She paused. We don't beg. The first volley fired. The battle lasted 11 days. The same number it had taken to destroy Earth. That was not a coincidence. Humanity had planned it that way. When Vreth Prime fell silent, Commander Reeves stood again at his observation window, this time looking down at a conquered throne world. Behind him, across the fleet, 12 billion humans exhaled 3,000 years of grief. Earth would be restored. The project had already begun. Scientists, terraformers, and builders were en route with everything needed to bring the oceans back, coax life from the ash, and plant the first new tree on a world that had been dead since before any living human's memory. It would take generations. They were good at waiting. Humanity had returned. And the galaxy would not forget it.